faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings at a single bound, this amazing stranger from the planet Krypton, the Man of Steel, Superman. Empowered with X-ray vision, possessing remarkable physical strength, Superman fights a never-ending battle for truth and justice, disguised as a mild-mannered newspaper reporter, Clark Kent.
I definitely feel like comics can express, I like drawing, and I like writing, and it's such like a natural combination of those two things.
Great medium for expressing yourself. It's a really fantastic way to get something out there that shows exactly what you want to show, where you're only limited by your abilities.
I did this gag comic called Moctopus for about three, 4 years, pretty much all high school. The fact that I was seeing things that people drew, on TV and on paper, and just making stories up, because that was the stuff I like to do. I'm going to a School of Visual Arts in New York for cartooning, which is really awesome, and I'd just love to be able to draw, as a life.
The industry is pretty small, so there aren't a ton of spaces available for people who want to work professionally within it.
To be a comic book artist is so unbelievably and incredibly competitive.
If someone wants to work at one of the bigger companies, at Marvel or DC, for example, it's probably a lot less likely for them to be able to express their own personality as much as it is them working on something smaller. There are definitely artists and writers whose idiosyncratic styles shine through at the bigger companies, but comes down to it, when you're working at one of those companies, almost 100% of the time you're working on a corporately owned character. If you're drawing a Superman or Batman or Captain America story, there are a lot of people who check that along the way.
I would say the way to do it now is to create your own work. I mean, there are going to be some people who come up and are still so enamored of certain characters in Marvel and DC that might be what they're working on all the time. But most of the people I've known who have found success, even in Marvel and DC, have created their own works first.
I've got sketches here that I just drew at school, and then I've got this page at a very early stage here in Manga Studio with these characters sketched out here. Right now I'm kind of taking a break and trying to figure out where I'm trying to go with that story. I've sort of been writing it on the fly. So this is what I'm working on right now, and then I'm working on a lot of just little doodles and little comics I've been posting on my blog.
Like that?
Oh yeah, it's so much, it's imprecise with the tablet. I've got this tiny little cheap tablet, but it's so simple to just undo and do a line over and over again until it's perfect, and that's really not a luxury you have when you're drawing with a brush.
It's really easy for someone to create a comic and put it out there on their own. A lot of folks used to do mini comics, printed at a Kinko's or whatever.
I'm trying to do stuff for print, but at the same time, I can't really afford to do a big professional printed comic like I want to do right now. I'm not super flush with cash.
You're not going to send your resume into Marvel Comics with 30 pages of great art and get a job. It's just never going to happen.
It doesn't take a lot of money. It does take a lot of hard work, and it does take a certain level of talent, though I think in almost any creative field, hard work eventually beats talent.
I'm not a great writer on my own, and I'm not like a super great artist, but I feel like if I can, combining the best of those two things, I can make something that's interesting to me and hopefully other people.